Yeah, it's a sex tape. I'm gonna watch it. I didn't get any joy out of it. But I have to do some research.
I thought you were dead.
Welcome back to the Roast Mortem Podcast. I am one of your three handsome hosts, Cody McCann.
I'm Thomas Saltman.
I'm Travis Lee.
And all three of us are here to talk about dead people, make you laugh, make you smile, maybe a little enlightenment.
Fucking stupid dead people.
All of them.
Yeah.
Garbage. So,
I mean, if they were any smart, they'd be alive.
Talk about dead people.
Yeah.
Even though we talk about people that like died like
We have a
thousands of years
podcast.
ago.
yeah. Well, maybe if they were smarter.
Yeah.
You're not
Who
wrong.
knows? Who
I mean,
knows?
people will say that about us.
If you were omniscient, you could figure
Yeah.
out how to live forever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like omniscience is just inherently tied into with immortality and shit like that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna start the show with something called the dishonorable mentions.
Yeah, I basically found someone that he's a really boring guy. He's just really boring. I was like trying to flesh this out into like a full like hour, 45-minute thing. I was like, no, he's really not that.
Not
interesting.
enough flesh.
I just
boring
want you to know that when you pitched the idea to me, you didn't start with he's a really boring guy.
But you know, let me finish here. He's got the most hilarious death. So
right.
that's why he's the dishonorable mention.
All right, roll into it.
So it's Adolf Fredrik, who was the king of Sweden.
What
Right.
what time frame we at?
He was born in 1710.
King of Sweden, 1710.
1710.
Adolf.
Adolf Fredrik.
Two first names. Can't trust him.
Yeah, can't trust that guy. He didn't really do much as king. He's a bad king.
He
Like,
just ate a lot of fine meats.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So yeah,
Did I just guess something?
you kind of got it. You kind of got it. there.
I don't know who this person is, so
Well,
I'm
whatever.
sorry.
He didn't fucking do dick.
That means you're subtly racist.
he didn't do dick. He just kind of chilled out and ate. He liked to craft snuff boxes. That was his hobby.
Just snuff in
Okay.
a box and he just crafted those little boys.
But the way he died
Go on.
on February 12th, 1771, he was consuming a very big meal, and I'm going to tell you what was in this meal. It consisted of lobster, caviar, sauerkraut, kippers, champagne.
Oh no.
This is fine, classy shit for
A lot
the
of
Swedish
bubblies.
king.
A lot
Like,
of-
yeah,
A lot of bottom feeder
This is just
meat.
Tuesday evening.
Tuesday evening in Sweden.
Okay.
Probably national health care. They get this in Sweden. This is what you get every Thursday.
Kippers or healthcare.
He topped off this meal with 14 servings of semla, which is like kind of like a stuffed pastry
Okay.
with like almond
Dessert?
paste like in the middle.
Oh, okay.
14 of these things.
Ugh.
And they were all served with a hot bowl of cream.
Each of them.
Yeah, I guess.
So is this
Or maybe
man,
just all of them all in like one bucket.
Is
of
this
hot
man a
cream.
cat? I think cats like hot balls of cream.
And he
my
died. He ate too much.
Cause
It said
of-
like digestive problems. Probably had a heart attack or
I
something.
could imagine. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Gluttonous asshole.
Mm.
Eating that lobster.
He could have. How many people do you think he could have fed with that? Well, at least 14.
At least 14 could have had a nice dessert.
Yeah.
bastard?
Oh, wow. What a son of a bitch.
So what was his name again?
Adolf Fredrik,
So Mr. Adolf Fredrik.
King of Sweden.
First dishonorable mention here
Got-
on Roast Mortem
Yeah.
Podcast.
And I'm
Got
gonna
too
ask
fat.
Real piece of shit.
I'm gonna ask you guys, what would you die on if you had to eat your way to death?
Oh, last meal?
Yeah, your last meal.
Like
fucking,
as if it
like-
was a suicide last
like
meal too.
you're the Rock on his like cheat day.
Oh. See, here's the thing. Am I like trying to like maximize pleasure out of this? Because I'll eat something like kind of healthy for 30 years until it kills me.
No, but you're eating it all in one shot.
I'd resort to fried dough. You know what I mean? Just like donuts and
Zeppelis?
pastries and shit like that. Because I feel like
Like
that
carnival food.
Yeah. I'm trying to like balance, like, because that's tasty and that'll get me relatively quick.
Right.
I'm gonna die of a heart attack on like Wednesday instead of like, you know.
Yeah, if you're trying to kill yourself, it's a way better pick than romaine lettuce.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like it's gonna be harder to kill myself with like Asperg.
I know mine, a shrimp. Moving on.
We have a very interesting person posted up on our mortician slab today.
Oh, you guys are
Who's
gonna
going?
love this one.
Is that you? You going today?
I did the research this time.
Tom Swinging.
If you're new to this podcast, I'm Tom Saltman. Don't follow me anywhere. I looked into Chuck Berry, rock and roll icon, the father of rock and roll, or king of rock and roll.
He go like ding 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 ding. That's probably
That's
not
the
Chuck.
one.
Is that Chuck
That is the
Berry?
one. Yeah.
All
It's,
right. Ding 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 ding.
Johnny
ding,
B.
ding,
Good.
Clink clink clink
I
clink.
think, what's that? Roll over Beethoven.
Yeah,
I think
from
from the Home Alone.
yeah, that's one of the famous ones he made for Beethoven.
Yes.
The Saint
Nope.
Bernard.
The famous movie Beethoven.
Beethoven.
So this episode, I guess we're calling it Johnny B. Fartin' Good, and we'll get into that.
Hi, Framped.
So
He's
I'd
a
love.
carjacker, armed robber, extreme pervert, tax dodger, substance abuser, and just a shitty guy.
Wait, he did all like the guy who wrote like shit that like grandpas and dads listen to.
Oh yeah.
The same,
Like,
one
the
and the
fun-
same.
Like, oh, let's play this for our fucking 5-year-old because it's fun.
Bopping around.
Bopping
look at us.
around,
Oh,
this guy's
Yes.
fucking robbing banks and shit.
Yeah, that was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No,
It was
not
like,
robbing banks, armed robbery.
Armed. Oh, okay.
There's a
It's
difference.
So he was born Charles Edward Anderson Berry, October 18th, 1926.
Jeez, that's a
He's
white
born
name.
in St. Louis. I know, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those black guys who looks kind of white, like Mos Def.
Yeah, that name is like super.
Like I feel if I did blackface, I would look like Mos Def.
Ah,
yeah, definitely.
no comment there, but
I mean, well,
Well, why not?
you segue however you need to.
It's fine.
I was gonna say that I feel like the viewers should know that he is black.
Yes.
Because I didn't think that Chuck Berry was black.
You didn't think? Well,
Like, because all I've heard is the music.
interesting
and I,
thing
you know,
because he got a lot of radio play, and during the time when he was making all these hits, DJs had no idea he was black, and they were putting him on these. He's down south, and they're putting
Right.
him on these channels, and they find out he's black, like months into playing his stuff, and they get all furious. And for all the racial tensions and awful things having to do with race down south, like he was
Right.
actually really good for that because he played a lot of racially integrated places and was
Right.
one of the first guys to actually do that. So he did some good.
He got people
well,
to
well,
dance.
kudos to him, but I want to
That's not
find
what
out
the
why
show's
it's
about.
shit.
Yeah.
I want to know why it's a shit.
Yeah, so all right, he wrote some good songs and he was nice about racism. So let's go.
Now for the shit side.
He's known for writing tracks such as Maybelline, Johnny B. Good, Roll Over Beethoven, No Particular Place to Go, and You Never Can Tell, which is in Pulp Fiction. That's the one that John Travolta is like dancing on Uma Thurman, trying to get her all Scientology.
Jack
out.
Rabbit Slim.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Trying to get her to join.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got that.
$5 milkshake, that scene. Yeah, that's him. So if you don't know any of this shit, you're fucking up. Go listen to some Chuck Berry. Come back to us in like 30 years.
I don't know how anyone hasn't heard of a Chuck Berry song, whether you knew it or not.
I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people have heard it, but
Yeah.
it's just so everywhere and it gets so many publishing deals. His
Right.
music that people have heard it. And, if you're like a 15-year-old kid, you've heard this shit, you don't know who it is.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like if you
Because he doesn't have music videos. He doesn't have an Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like if you contend that you haven't heard Chuck Berry, I'm gonna say you're wrong, and you have heard him. So, like he's Back to the Future,
Yes.
right? Yeah, he was.
Right.
There was
Yeah,
a gag
he plays
in
a song. Yeah. if you watch the end of Spoiler alert.
Oh,
if
God.
you watch it Back to the fucking Future, Marty McFly just hanging out there shredding at his mom and dad's prom. He's playing some Chuck Berry.
trying to get
Chuck
pregnant.
Berry.
Yeah, and there's even the Chuck Berry reference. I think it's Marvin Berry or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
it's your cousin Marvin Berry.
Oh.
I'm fucking backstage. Listen to this shit.
Okay, so that's who this guy is.
He's quite an icon. Fuck you if you didn't know any of that.
Yeah. Fuck
How's that
you.
sound? Fuck you.
Leave.
I'm tired.
Leave this
I'm so tired
podcast.
right now. I'm ready to be mean.
I mean, we
All
can.
right,
we can
so we'll get into it. Age 17, Chuck and two of his friends, they find a pistol. They go on a robbery spree, which is hilarious. They rob a bakery
Just
and some
natural,
other shit.
right?
They end up, the law catches up with them. There's not too many records of this. I saw some stuff on this online. It looks like a lot of hearsay. I couldn't find
Right.
anything like consistent.
I mean, where is he from again?
St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
I grew up there. Woo! Represent.
Yep.
That's me, Cody.
We don't know exactly what he was robbing.
Bakery.
Well, I know one bakery. That was one thing I found on like 3 different sites,
Really wanted donut.
different sources.
yeah, Hearst donut.
But we
and they
did-
just pills the pistol.
We did find the sentencing and all that shit. So after,
So that's the first brush with the law at the very ripe young age of
Yeah.
17.
and the long arm of the law catches up to him, he's sentenced to 10 years for robbery. Excuse me. He served 3 years in an intermediate reformatory outside of Jefferson, Missouri, before gaining release on good behavior, which is what they do if you're young and shit like that.
So this is juvie?
He's basically in a juvie.
All right.
He gets sentenced to 10 years. He only gets 3. He's let out on his 21st birthday.
Not bad.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's a key time to be out of jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't in jail for those times.
No.
No.
I mean, was he?
I should have been in jail for those times.
Did he have his dirty old guitar?
At
that point?
in jail, I don't even think he had started playing.
Did he have shoes? Probably not if he's in jail.
Yeah,
Back
they
then.
have shoes.
No, they don't
shoes
give
in
him
jail.
shoes back then. I don't know.
Well,
probably
this was in
not.
the deep south.
I mean, this is 1947.
Shoes weren't invented until 1992.
They
Oh.
had shoes, but they were probably made of like a powder.
A fine, like Ovaltine.
Yeah.
You just get some Ovaltine. You
you
just
just
slime
have to
them up.
mix
Yeah,
your
yeah.
own like glue and sap into it.
It would take like 3 days to put your shoes on.
Damn south.
While he was locked up, his hobbies were, he was in a quartet singing, and he was
Ah.
also into boxing.
That's standard.
I hope it was with the same people.
That's a very good combo.
Just punching each other in the fucking mouth.
Ooh-wah-ba-ba. Ah! Ooh-wah-ba-ba.
Yeah, singing them ragtime shits, just getting blasted in the mouth.
I wonder, like, what warden is just like, yeah, boxing is fine amongst the inmates. Go ahead, do it.
Got to get it out somehow.
Oh, dude, back then it's like boxing was just a sport. You know, they don't even let kids play dodgeball now, but back then it was, anything could go.
Throwing a right hook here, boss.
Yeah.
You throw that right hook there.
Didn't matter. It's all good. So the following year, October 28th, 1948, Barry married Themeta Toddy Suggs. Suggs?
Yeah.
Themeta Suggs?
Toddy Suggs.
Toddy?
Toddy Suggs,
Hot
man.
toddy.
Hot Toddy. Hot Toddy Suggs.
That's probably how it originated.
He married Suggs. Or Toddy.
Yeah, let's call her Suggs.
Yeah,
I like
Suggs is
Yeah.
better.
How
He
do you,
then
what do
gave
you
birth to Darlin Ingrid Berry on October 3rd, 1950. So that's his family life.
Okay, so he married a creature called Suggs. And
Yo, listen,
out of Suggs fell
Suggs was probably a sweet lady.
Ingrid.
She's a victim in
Ingrid
this case,
fell
right?
out of Suggs.
Right.
Okay. So he married the
These-
Suggs
These
and the
people
Ingrid.
are victims
Ingrid
of
fell out
A,
of-
bad naming, and B, being around Chuck fucking Berry. Piece of shit. So he worked at an auto assembly line, and he was a janitor and a beautician before getting his first deal with Chess Records.
Whoa. Okay. So
Chess
we have.
Records.
And that's where he recorded Maybelline, and that got some serious radio play.
Who was Maybelline?
So that made
I know it wasn't Sluggo.
Suggs.
Suggs.
yeah. Maybelline. I don't even know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what that's about. Yeah, we're just gonna get into some shit about him now because he writes all this stuff. He has a bit of a career.
Okay, so like backbone provided. Here's the turd at the end of the backbone now.
So he gets his first big deal with Maybelline. That gets a bunch of radio play.
Monies. Just got monies.
Yeah, of course. Back then, radio play would actually give you money.
Like, but in old timey money, like $3.
Yeah, $3, which is how he made the down payment on his house.
Which yeah,
Exactly.
I was gonna
Makes
say.
sense. I mean, back there, buying a house in Missouri it couldn't have been more than like $7,000.
You could just chop wood for an afternoon and get a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, there you
much.
go. Well, no, you're probably chopping wood for like $2.25.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they'd say $2.25. You're getting $2.25, boy, all day.
When he said a quarter, he meant a quarter of a dime, which is just
Yeah,
a penny and 2 hay pennies. Yeah. I think that's like a funny millionaire joke. Like, I made $1 million and donated a quarter of it to charity.
He releases his singles. He starts his career. He's touring around. He's doing his badass Chuck Berry thing. He hasn't really gotten into any, like, weird shit. Like, yeah, the armed robbery thing. He's just a kid at this point. Shitty kid.
So we're going to let youthful indiscretion slide for that young stuff.
Right. So
He doesn't
let
have
that go.
anything else weird coming down the pipe, right?
And then all of a sudden, December 1959, Berry was accused of having sexual intercourse with a 14-year-old Apache waitress, Janice Escalante,
Whoa!
whom he met in Mexico. He picked her up to be like his hat girl. Like, I guess it's a
Stop.
check lady.
What is that?
Hat girl.
Explain.
I don't know. I kept seeing that on sites. It's a hat girl. I guess it's like,
Do you have to pay it?
well,
Do they?
How
do they
many
get-
hats does he have?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if it was
But
his
that's
hats
shitty.
or maybe it was like he was going to a lot of venues where they had hats and you collect the hats and it's like a coat check thing. That's a bad guess.
Stealing that.
Yeah, it's my hat chick.
Hat girl.
Maybe he had 2 hats.
14-year-old.
And he had a lot of money at the time.
14-year-old Apache girl.
Right. That's 19. Yeah, this is almost a decade after. This is more than a decade after he's gotten his radio hit. So just to contextualize, he's had a really good career that we're just breezing right over because
Right.
we don't want to glorify anyone here.
And he's also still married to Sluggo, right? Whatever her name is.
Yeah, shitty slugs.
Okay, wait. She's 14. How old is he?
At this point, he
Far north of the safe line.
yeah, he's around.
She's
33.
14, goddammit.
He's 33, I believe.
Yeah.
33. So he's 33. He's banging a 14-year-old. He gets called out for it by Johnny Law.
Does he? He doesn't actually get there, does he? I
What,
think
the
he
banger?
yeah, I think he gets shut down by
Oh, dude, he's
J-Lo.
traveling with this girl. This is not like their first night they get caught.
Okay.
He's like keeping her as a backstage ottoman. You know what I mean?
Village bicycle.
He gets pulled over because he's traveling with this 14-year-old girl, and he is tried under the Mann Act, which is transporting women across state lines for immoral purposes.
That's pretty fucking vague.
That's loose
Yeah.
as fuck.
Immoral purposes.
Yeah.
We were gonna get 10 orders of chicken nuggets together.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's a gluttony thing.
we were gonna buy stock on margin.
I feel like that law was probably just put in place by like tight-fisted dad who's like, "You're not stealing my daughter, goddammit!" Even though she's like 19.
I actually,
You know, like-
I forgot to write down what state this happened in. I
I was gonna say, well, like, what lines were crossed here?
I just thought of that. We're talking about borders. I don't even know.
I would say Missouri to
No, it was
he's
somewhere
moving
down
around.
south for sure. I think it was like I think he picked her up in like Texas or New Mexico. I'm pretty sure Texas was somewhere along this.
So it's like Pennsylvania to Oklahoma. Is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, riding along in my automobile. Is that him?
Yeah.
That doing the girl.
No particular place to go.
Yeah.
Great song.
No particular place to go with this 14-year-old girl. She collects all the hats. And she sucks my big old stack. Now I'm going to jail, baby. I don't know, because Tom has to tell me what's going on with the show.
Wow.
God damn.
Tom, can you put like some drum and bass and post in that?
No, I think it was perfect. That's all.
Magnifique.
It's a wonderful tribute to a piece of shit.
Fucking-
Yeah.
That was a great off the cuff.
So he's tried
Travis.
under the Mann Act, and he's sentenced to 5 years, but Barry managed to appeal
Just-
on the grounds of racism.
just
and
for just for the Apache girl in the backseat.
Yeah.
5 years. Wow.
5 years for that shit.
Good.
Because they knew they were betting him. It was like, what are
What
you doing here?
With the
Yeah.
Apache girl, the 14-year-old one. Yeah, that one.
They're probably saying, how could you do that? Zing.
2 shitty racist jokes in one podcast.
That was
sorry.
That was
I'm not sorry.
there was no reason to peak the audio for that.
No, it's fine. It's all good. It's lighthearted. 5 years for that shit, but he appeals that court sentence. He appeals it on the grounds of racism, and that goes through. Good for him.
So it was like
I
a
guess.
mistrial maneuver.
He uses like a mistrial. He's like, the
Okay.
judge got an attitude with me, so he gets tried again. You get appealed, and you still have to get retried.
Yeah, the court gets to take a second shot.
It doesn't
at
get
you.
thrown out the window. You get retried,
Yeah.
and he gets 3 years on that trial. He tries to appeal again, doesn't work. He only serves 1.5 years. That's from February 1962 to October 1963.
Okay.
Mm.
So he was in trouble in the 60s.
So he got 1.5 years for banging a 14-year-old, the Hat Girl, the Hat Apache.
The king's hat.
Okay.
Her father was it YMCA group? What are they called again?
Village people.
The village people.
Right? Yeah, village people. I was thinking, yeah, that's her father.
I almost feel like underage sex things should go like inverse by years. So, like whatever, 18, and then,
Subtracted
so
from
17 is
100.
1 year. He's at 14. If you do a
so
1-year-old.
I think the other way around. You take the difference, and that's the year. So he's got 16 years on his belt. Throw him in.
Yeah. All right.
Dirty, rotten man. Stinky boy.
Stinky boy.
Kid diddler.
All right, so here's some other great highlights from Chump Berry.
I like how you led with Grand Theft Auto and kid diddling. Strong. Good open.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like he's a good songwriter, but what am I gonna do? Just trying to shine some light on this shit. So the IRS conducted a 5-year investigation and found out he had avoided paying about $100,000 in taxes, and that was 1973.
It's like $1 billion.
That's a lot of scratch.
He used to demand cash up front for a bunch
and
of
the reason
shit.
he was investigated because he's making all this money, he's on the charts, but he used to demand that all of the promoters would pay him in cash.
Sneaky boy.
You can't like get radio hits and be touring and advertise it, and then when you write into the IRS, you give them like $2,000 saying you only made like 30. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, it's not clever.
You
No.
are a red flag. Is when you're a celebrity. I mean, look at Lauryn Hill.
Oh.
She got fucked.
Fucked in
Wesley Snipes fucked. You need a good accountant.
And
But his idea of a good accountant was just, hey, give me cash.
if DMX is listening, listen up.
Did he have tax trouble too?
I think he's in jail now because of tax.
Oh.
There's actually
Oh, no,
a website.
yeah, no, there
Hold
is a
on, wait,
website.
hold on. Yeah, there is a website called Is DMX in Jail?
Well, let's check this out.
Yeah, so we're gonna look this up.
I know he posed as a federal agent. Everyone's probably heard that one. I feel like
So-
he's had tax evasion.
Is DMXinjail.com, and
Survey says.
DMX is not in jail.
Hey!
Graphic.
He's like standing in the
That's all the
godly
site is.
field.
Yeah, that's a vindication.
Yeah, that's
Whoever made this site, get a Patreon, so I can give you lots of money every month.
I'll give you a kiss.
I'll give you $3, and I'll get every one of our listeners to give you $3 because we have that kind of push.
yeah. Got that sway.
We don't have any money. We can get other people money.
We got pocket lint.
So Chuck Berry, his whole touring career, he especially in the 70s, instead of hiring bands like a band to tour with him, what he would do is hire local bands to just show up, wouldn't pay them shit because everyone wanted to play with Chuck Berry and everyone knew all the Chuck Berry songs. He'd get his like manager or his agent to call out and find people who are already in that city to play his music with him.
Wait, so they would be like the backing
The
band?
backing band.
Oh, really?
He
Like
never
he never
toured with
had
people.
a band?
He didn't want to hire people. He didn't
So
want to hire
he just
people.
got local schmoes to fill in for backing. He didn't have.
on record, some shit like someone asked him, like I think it was like he went to go play at Berkeley at some point, and the guy was arranging it, and he's just like, "Oh, all right, well, get your band in here," and he's just like, "Don't need no band. All right, we'll get you a hotel room. Don't get me a hotel room. Don't want none of that." And he's like, "Well, what do we do about your band?" He's like, "Just get anyone. Everyone knows Chuck Berry songs." I think that's exactly everyone knows
Alright.
Chuck Berry songs.
There
Like,
you
this
go.
guy is cocky as fuck.
He's just like I'm a universal product, of course.
Also,
people.
at that same Berkeley event, I think he was supposed to do a speech like earlier in the day because it's fucking Berkeley. So he was supposed to do like a speech or just speak to the kids, and I think he charged like $700 for that. This is I think in the 70s, so that's
It's
like
a lot of money.
it's fucking
yeah.
steep, man.
it's a lot of scratch. But he refused to talk at all unless he got payment up front for both the speech and the performance. So
In cash, because that's.
I
his-
read this article. I forgot the author's name, but he was the guy promoting it. So when Chuck Berry flies into town and goes to this dude and is just like, "Hey, where am I talking?" The guy tells him, and he's just like, "You're on at this time." Dude's like, "All right, I'm just gonna answer in one-word syllables from now on until my money's here." Some shit like that,
Oh,
like.
shit.
And he just sits there. He just like smiles and nods. Where's my money? That's it.
Where money?
So the guy
Oh,
actually
man.
had to like he didn't think Chuck Berry was serious, so he had to like panic last minute, run over to one of the administration buildings and get him a check, and then come
Jesus
back. Like
Christ.
crazy shit. Like he put the pressure on.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, at least there was 2 events. It wasn't like he had to figure this out at Showtime. It was weird too because he's talking all this shit in this article. I forget what it's called. We'll link to it, but he's talking so much shit about Chuck Berry, and the end of it, he's just like, overall, he was a pretty nice guy. And I'm like, you are an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point? What is the point of writing this?
He doesn't sound like a really nice guy.
No, he's not at all.
No.
All right, so moving along here. So he does get in trouble with the IRS, as we were saying before.
Playing fast and loose with Uncle Sam.
In 1979, he gets sentenced to 4 months in prison, 1,000 hours of community service, i.e., playing benefit shows, for skipping out on paying his taxes. Hilarious.
So this is
So
like his-
instead of like joining a chain gang or making license plates, they're just like, I don't know, fucking play benefit shows.
Yeah.
Just a lazy fucking judge.
No, I think that's actually kind of creative. I would have just made him do like a show every month.
No.
You know, like that he had to be at. And if not, we're coming down and going to beat you up, Chuck Berry.
No, they should have had him make fucking license plates, ruin his hands.
I mean, I think he did that for 4 months. I mean, well, you know, he's a good guitar player. You just want to leave him in a cage,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Because
You don't want to ruin his hands.
he's
Leave
a
him alone.
horrible man.
1987. He's arrested on assault charges in New York, where a woman claimed he had beaten her up.
Wow.
He admitted to it and was fined $250.
$250?
Yeah.
For what, a public display of violence?
No, I don't know if it was public. It was an assault charge. I couldn't find much else on it. I think since he admitted to it,
So what is that, his fourth brush?
it's not a juicy story. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy's a dickbag.
But that makes it his like
you know.
fourth brush with the law, doesn't
A
it?
juicy story is when they don't admit to it, and then the investigation
Right.
comes out, and you get more stuff. But like as soon as you're like, yeah, I did it, like
It's boring.
no one gives a shit.
I mean, he's got a record now of not being the best with women, so he's like, I might as well just admit this one.
Oh, it gets
Fuck
better.
it.
It gets way better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You led with extreme pervert. I've only seen one perverty thing. Does that qualify for extreme yet?
Well, I mean, when you bang a 14-year-old,
it is a
you're
bad
a
thing.
disgusting person.
It's a bad thing, but I feel
You should
like
go to hell.
extreme pervert is a multifaceted title.
Yeah, well, that's coming in right now.
Is it?
So I think this was in the 90s. A sex tape comes out. A Chuck Berry sex tape.
Ooh.
No, you're
Believe it or
lying.
not. No.
fucking
This legend of rock and roll. And I'm surprised I didn't hear about this earlier.
that.
I hadn't heard about a sex tape from Chuck Berry until I started doing research on this.
But also, this is like in 1991, right? He's like in his 60s?
Yeah, I think he's
somewhere
in his 60s,
around there.
Yeah, something like that. He is old. He's an old man.
How old was Hulk Hogan with his little sex tape?
I think he was about 57.
So around the same age.
Yeah, but also like
Is that what you do at that age? Just like have it
I
on
guess.
tape?
I don't know. Chuck Berry comes out with his own sex tape.
Does he produce it, or be like, this is mine, or is it just like falling out of his
World-
control?
So-
World star hip hop. Chuck Berry, Berry, sex tape. Sex. 1991, some Run DMC behind there. Like, whatever.
He scored
That works.
himself.
He farts in a hooker's mouth while she's giving him the old ribby.
You surprised yourself with that, did you?
I forgot I wrote that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So he's getting this paid prostitute to lick his butthole, and right as that's happening, you see he's like leaning back, like his knees are facing the camera.
Wait,
you know,
you've
like-
seen this, Tom?
Oh yes.
You've seen the sex tape?
Yeah, it's a sex tape. I'm gonna watch it. I
That's
didn't
what-
get any joy out of it. I
That's
have
what
to do
they're
some
for.
research.
No, I know. It's for the good of the podcast.
If I could do research and not have to read anything, I'm good.
Perfect.
Video. As soon as I see Chuck Berry video, factual, it's happening.
I feel that this is the lowest thing he's done so far. He's robbed a donut store.
No. Farting in a hooker's mouth is not as bad as fucking a 14-year-old.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, no, it's not the lowest thing.
But what I don't like
It's not
is
a lot.
It says a lot about his character.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
say a lot about his character.
what I don't like is he tricked this woman. Like
yeah.
he was already paying her to do dirty deeds,
Oh yeah.
but he tricked her. Even you know what I mean? It was just like do this. Ha ha! You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah, the video is hilarious.
you're already paying for the deed. Don't trick anyone
Yeah,
for
'cause
it.
she's going down on him. He's laying down on the bed, and like it's I don't know, it's a weird shot, and like you just see her like you hear him. He's just like, "You want to go kiss my butthole? You go and kiss it." He's got that like he's like, "Go and kiss this butthole," and as she's going down, she's like she's descending behind his body. And then you
Okay.
hear it. You hear the sound of a stinky, stinky fart.
and she
He
reacts.
isn't audible.
And her head bops back. It looks like she got shot in the mouth with a BB gun or something. She's like, "Oh, that is pungent."
Oh,
It's like why would you trick a person for that?
I don't know.
Just pony up the extra $40.
I don't know. It looked like I feel so bad for that woman, but also like
It looked like her name was Darlene.
he's got a lot of cash.
is that the only thing he did to her?
Oh no. I don't know. This video was cut up.
Okay.
There was a nice little pee party too.
Ah,
Oh, a little bit of wheelie.
Water
There was
A little
some
bit of R.
wee-wees.
Kel in there.
Yes, water sports.
yes.
So
very nice.
and in fact, I'm looking up on Wikipedia, and I'm checking out the words, all the words for these terms. So,
Oh, the big fancy ones.
Please tell
Yeah.
me them. I don't think I'll ever need to use them, but I want to know.
Oh, you're learning right now.
just to put a little context into what this means, or how you can label it, would be eproctophilia, which is a fart fetish thing.
Oh, the syllables on
Oh, fart.
Eproctophilia. So he was into that. He was into farting into people's mouths, which I think Mozart was into that too. Didn't he write like
that.
a?
No
Are you
idea.
serious?
Yeah, I think
No
Mozart.
Is that
idea.
what Moonlight Sonata is?
I think so.
Dun,
He was a
dun,
dirty-
dun,
just
dun,
tooting his own
dun.
horn.
He did have it. He did have a. Mozart did have a piece that translates to "lick my ass."
What?
What?
And he's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about Mozart.
I'm not going to talk shit about Mozart because he was just having fun. He was a teenager.
It's not his episode yet.
He's not a 6-year-old farting in a hooker's mouth.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
And then the other one, Europhilia. I looked that up on Wikipedia.
Oh.
And there was a little section up there all about notable people with Europhilia. And the first person listed was Chuck Berry.
Hey.
Oh, little pee-pee man.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so I assume Europhilia is the turn
The
on
piss,
of the
yeah.
the
It's the pee-pee. It's the people that are like, hey, you want to see my pee-pee? Now I pee-pee on you.
Yeah.
Hey, a little bit of pee-pee on you.
That's the one.
They're Italian.
For
no reason.
I don't know why I use the Italian accent. Well, you know, whatever.
PP.
It's a pee-pee.
Pee. A funny little thing to see. As I'm looking up this guy, I'm like, what do you call a piss fetish? Europhilia. Look that up on Wikipedia. Notable Europhilists.
Oh,
Chucky
words.
B.
The old Chucky B.
Okay, Tom. So that's why you titled this episode that way. What was that again?
Johnny B. farting good.
Oh, okay, great. So
He
the-
farts good in the hooker's
he
mouth.
tricks
Yeah.
hookers into
You're
letting
like
him
tricked her.
fart. All right.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
a good farter.
I feel like you could probably drop a little sound clip.
Yeah.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, that can't be trademarked.
No,
There's
that-
no way
no.
that's trademarked.
No. That's my own voice.
I thought that was Chuck Berry's ghost.
Yeah, that's a Chuck Raspberry.
Oh, turn off the mics. We're done.
Zing.
Turn
That's
everything
the end
off.
of our podcast.
Everything
folks.
off. What's the Twitters? Plug the
That's
Twitters.
the last one ever. Chuck Berry was the last
7.
weird person who died.
7. Number 7.
All right, so
So this is the end of the perversion.
no. There's a little more perversion. He owned a restaurant called Southern Air.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Talk about a little
Talk-
wink and nod there.
What's the flavor of Southern Air?
I'm assuming that of a raspberry.
Whatever he ate yesterday.
God damn it!
Something gross.
All right, what's the debauchery going on here?
All right, so one of the waitress's husbands called him out for being a peeping Tom after finding a camera in the ladies' bathroom.
I see where this is going.
Oh my god.
So I don't know how many cameras he had. I think it might have been more than one restaurant. I think it was like a couple he had.
Little Chuck chain.
Little Chuck chain.
What was
Well,
the
needless to say, that shit that got out there, and I think this happened in like '92, and by '94, all the restaurants had closed, and he had to settle to 58 fucking waitresses.
Holy shit.
Legal fees racking up to 1.3,
yeah,
around 1.3 million.
I looked at the figures. Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, I think it was 1. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of scratch. You know, if you're Chuck Berry and you don't have an accountant.
Yeah. Did he pay that settlement in cash?
Up front.
Probably. He probably did some under the table. Actually, if you think about it, because 58 waitresses, you split that amongst them. What's that? Like 30 grand a piece?
Yeah, do math. We got a computer.
Still not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's free money for showing your hooch by accident.
Oh, don't say that.
It's a good way to put it, Tom.
Well, that's
Don't
what it
say
is.
that.
Yeah.
That's dirty old Johnny B. fucking horny.
Oh,
God.
boy.
So, do we have a proper cause of death?
Yeah. So Chuck.
Oh, can I guess?
Yes.
What you got?
A hooker suffocated him by farting. Just like
No. Chuck Berry always wanted to be like the one who.
he's the farter.
He was the farter, and he wanted to be the one to let it out.
So it's like a power top
He's not.
type
He's
thing.
not going to
Yeah.
let any hooker play any tricks on him. I mean, he.
But that could be the end.
Once
you know,
again,
like,
watch the video. He's playing a trick on this girl. It's not like I don't think it's sexual. I think he's doing something.
Oh
sexual.
no, it's a power thing. It's got to be
exactly.
A power
He's
thing.
he does. He's like, oh yeah, go kiss my butthole.
Yeah.
Then she goes for the old kiss her own, and you can't see her face because his ball sack is covering that. But she's going for it, and you hear that. And she's blown back like 10 feet.
You could
All right,
Indian
all right.
farts.
you could use that for like a slate. That's like
second guess.
Yeah.
Apache girl comes back, stabs him.
The Indian stab.
I like
yeah.
that.
The old Indian rubberone.
Little rub.
No, actually, cardiac arrest. The
Oh.
least rock and roll thing you can die from.
Well, it depends on the circumstances.
No.
Oh,
Very on rock and roll. No drugs. No alcohol. Not rocking and rolling.
at a club, right? Or
No, he's at house.
oh,
At his house.
probably
What a
found him.
puss.
He was at house.
I don't like
He
it.
was at his house. He was watching House
Probably was.
with Hugh Laurie.
You Larry.
I was watching House. Yeah, so, I mean, House was out at this point. This was March 18th, 2017.
So official
House
time
been
of
done out. House been out for a while now.
Yes.
so official time
I
of
don't-
death is what was that again?
It was March 18th, 2017. And this is the freshest corpse we're talking about.
Yeah, for our show. yeah.
He's still warm.
He is
Well,
warm.
bright out warm, but he's not rotting.
Yeah.
He's room temperature. He's grave temperature.
Yeah, I suppose he was about 70-something at this point.
I know.
Did he have a weird-
90, right?
No. What year was it? It was 1926?
Something, right? 32?
1920.
Hey,
Oh,
he
let's
kicked
do
it when he
math
was
again.
90, right? I think I remember
Oh,
that.
26.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
he was
right.
90. Yeah, he's about 90.
Yeah.
91.
Yeah.
Do you have a weird
Old
funeral?
fucking pervert.
Do you have like a weird funeral where like farted on him?
No,
Or
it was
everyone
it was
farted?
televised though, and Gene Simmons managed to give a speech that he was very
Why'd you use that verb, manage?
he managed
managed.
because it was impromptu.
Oh my
No
god.
one scripted this speech in, but Gene Simmons went up there with his fucking Brillo haircut,
Oh, you
his
script.
sunglasses on, and he's telling
Has
everyone
his tongue out.
he's telling everyone how he moved from Israel and how much Chuck Berry was the coolest shit when he came over here.
Well, okay. You do something right if Gene Simmons feels the need to impromptu a eulogy.
Fuck Gene
Yeah,
Simmons.
that guy sucks
He
shit.
sucks
I
dick.
can't wait to do one of these on him.
Oh my god.
Guy's a piece of
Oh,
garbage.
He's a piece of shit.
And Kiss does fucking rock, all right? But Gene Simmons, like, he's just the front man.
Crusty. Little
He's a
crusty.
little
Piece
ween.
of garbage. Kiss used to rock.
Ah,
By the time Chuck Berry died,
all the cred's gone.
yeah, Gene Simmons looks like a Passover Seder.
Jeez.
He looks like it.
He looks like locks. He's got
He
skin of
does.
locks.
Yeah, he's got the skin of locks. Perfect.
Before we transition to that segment thing there.
Any other questions? I feel like I missed stuff. Do you guys have
No,
questions?
I know a little Truck Berry trivia of my own. That
Truck Berry. That's
Truck Berry
That sounds like
trivia.
a DJ name.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry.
I know a little Berry trivia of my own that augments one of your points. This man's favorite food is seemingly Indian. And I know that because I've read a bit of trivia where he would only book live shows where an Indian restaurant would be like along his exfiltration path.
I call it the Berry Vindaloo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that makes his fart shit even worse.
yeah. So I
I
want you
can't
to read
remember
all
the
yeah.
science name for it.
I want you to. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
terrible.
What was it? Eproctophilia or something like
Proctophilia.
Okay, so imagine that fart video, and your boy Chuck Berry is full of Vindaloo at that
He's
point.
just blasting out fucking
Poisoning women of the night.
wow. Suck on my mathala.
God.
Chuck, it's too spicy.
Yeah, just wipe your face out with this man bread.
Use napkin pubes.
All right, awful. Awful. We're not the awful people.
Yeah.
So Tom here. We got a rock star. The sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I
Yes.
haven't heard anything about drugs.
Oh, right. Okay, so I missed this.
Cocaine?
No cocaine.
Heroin?
No.
Well,
Pop marijuanas?
Pop marijuanas. Yes.
Oh!
I think this was the 60s or late 50s where he got arrested for having a whole bunch of marijuanas. I don't remember how much, and I'm not going to say I don't remember how much because I kept finding different amounts
one of
on
those.
different websites. Like I found, I found a a plethora to just a couple of joints. So I don't know if this is, but he had it.
They'd
This
arrest
is
you
on
for
record.
They'd arrest you for anything back then, anyway.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
you know.
This is the 50s. He's a black guy. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
bad for him. He probably got his
Shouldn't be
fucking-
arrested for pot anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, this is the 50s. You should be arrested for, like, looking the wrong way. That's what happened.
your milkshake isn't filled up all the way, and you're walking down the sidewalk on a Sunday.
Oh, we gotta slap the shit out of you.
That's illegal.
Mom, I'm going to jail for 6 months. I had a little bit of jelly on the side of my face. From that sandwich you had made me.
Oh, Billy, why'd you do that?
I can't explain it, Mom, but this is the world we live in. America's number one. So he did go to jail. I'm not even sure the year. This is like, you know, it was so minor compared to all the pooping and farting and like that's the fun stuff. That's why, you know, he's an asshole for doing all that shit. Oh, and by the way, his wife Suggs,
Suggs.
Sluggo!
Toddy Suggs.
Toddy Suggs, she stuck with him the whole time.
You serious?
So he.
Sex tape
she's
and
still
everything.
alive?
How do you?
I don't know if she's still alive, but they were married for 60 years, I guess. So I guess.
all right. So how do you explain that?
Well, she was a pushover.
She would.
She didn't know how to stand up for herself,
you-
and maybe he made her sign a prenup while he was still like being a janitor.
There's audiovisual evidence that your significant other is farting down the throats of concubines. How do you take that?
At least it's not you. But you're Vindaloo.
Yeah, do you just do like the
He always asked me to fought down my throat. I said, "No way, young Charles."
No way.
Do you pull the Shaggy defense like wasn't me? Wasn't
Yeah, I don't know if you could pull that.
Wasn't around at the time.
Maybe
Well-
she didn't care. Maybe she didn't have cable.
One person that will never be on our show is good old Sluggo Therasis.
Toddy Suggs.
Therasis Sluggo.
She had a name
Because-
before her time, man.
Because she is
I
a
don't know.
saint. How did she put up with this fucking idiot?
All right, listen. We should probably get her name right if she's a saint.
Well,
I'm gonna read it again.
It's Therasis
It's the
Sluggo.
meta Toggy Suggs.
Toddy Suggs, man. I got
Toddy
it.
Suggs.
Toddy Suggs.
The meta.
the meta Toggy Sluggo.
Toggy. Yeah, Themeta Toboggan Slugs. All right. Well, anyway, this woman seemed like a sweetheart and a total saint. Cause,
Oh my God.
Because how do you deal with this wild
I don't know.
man who's just farting in waitresses' mouths? All right, so let's move along to a little segment we had because Chuck was also known for saying some very cocky things.
Oh yeah.
As I mentioned before, he claimed every band knew his stuff, hence not keeping his own band. He would get these amateurs to play his stuff.
He was like everything's derivative of me.
Exactly. This guy is cocky as fuck. So Cody came up with this segment, and we're going to see if Travis can figure these out. So
Oh.
It's called, was it Chuck or was it Kanye?
Oh, we're talking Kane West?
Kane West.
Hell yeah.
This is my example here. I'm going to say a quote. Travis is going to figure out who said it. Now,
Either-
the example one, just so you know how this goes, first quote. Chuck Berry doesn't give interviews.
Chuck Berry.
That's right.
Hey!
All right. Okay, that doesn't count. What kind of shorts I wear has nothing to do with music.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right. I think the shorts is a giveaway. I'm gonna say that's Kane West.
It is Chuck Berry.
What? The
Oh,
man
no!
appreciated his informal wear.
Sucker. Next quote. I should have been a son of Einstein.
Chuck Berry.
That's right.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Chuck
there
Berry.
we go.
Ding ding.
Wait, but he also lived in the same period as Einstein.
Yeah, he was alive.
He was alive.
Totally alive.
I mean, maybe he could be his son.
He might have. I don't
No,
know
no.
contextually when he said that. I don't know the timeline. So he definitely wasn't his son because Einstein just fucked his
he
cousin
wasn't.
and didn't have any children.
Yeah, and almost got hit by cars on Long Island, where we're from.
Also,
Yeah, pretty much.
melatonin. Also,
Yeah, I mean that's a big giveaway. Well, what we were saying before, he's a pretty white looking black guy.
yeah, that's true.
All right, so what's the next one? Give me this. I like this.
Lay it on him.
Okay, so the Bible had 20, 30, 40, 50 characters in it. You don't think that I would be one of those characters in today's modern Bible?
All right, so that's got to be Kanye because he's all about being gob.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, another one.
Not too bad.
Hey!
We'll do two more.
All right.
Do it.
Music is science. Everything is science because science is truth.
Can we put like the Jeopardy theme under
That's
this?
a
Oh,
re-
yeah, I could tack some of that in.
That's a really tough one there. I feel like they both say that.
Yeah,
One of them did.
it's a great segment.
I'm gonna go with Kane again. Kane West.
That is Chuck Berry.
Ah,
Whoa!
curveball.
Curveball.
That's right.
And
Wait, is
finally,
Kanye like Chuck Berry's illegitimate son?
we will never know.
Possibly. Kanye doesn't talk about his father.
Dude, we're gonna go.
And when I say that, I have no basis because I don't listen to Kanye's stuff.
And I
We're-
agree with that baseless
we're going-
comment.
Mm-hmm.
We're going into the
News.
conspiracy realm right now. Chemtrails, the Illuminati,
Kanye trails.
Kanye and
Berry?
Chuck Berry.
Kanye
Oh
Berry.
my.
What a piece of shit.
Have you ever seen the two in the same room at the same time? That's my
Mm.
question. No.
All right, one more. Give me one more.
All right. Rock's so good to me. Rock is my child and my grandfather.
Chuck Berry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's Chuck Berry, everyone.
That's Chuck Berry.
All right, so what was the only Kanye one there? That was the.
That was the Bible one.
So everything Chuck
there were some
Berry.
other good ones here. I'm picking on the fly because we picked too many. You know
I don't
what?
wear anything from Kanye ever again. If he just went into a cave and if he's all about being the Bible, let's make him Jesus. Put him in a cave and roll a rock in front of him.
He'd
No,
wept.
that's-
He'd wept if you did that.
He would weep.
He would weep. So that's Chuck Berry.
That is Chuck Berry. That's all we got so far. Listen, we know we miss a lot. We don't give a fuck.
But
We're here to-
I learned a lot today, boys.
That was a nice change.
What was your favorite thing about
My-
Chuck Berry?
My favorite thing about Chuck Berry. Well,
The
there's
kid,
no.
the
I
kid
think it's the
diddling.
I think it's the farting.
The fart?
And I think it was the farting in combination with the Indian food that Cody mentioned.
Yeah, it's a double whammy.
Okay.
That's
Cody?
You can't defend it. I mean, it's a double whammy.
All right, Mike is nodding his head. Mike's our
Yeah.
audio engineer tonight.
Scream high, maybe one of the
Yeah,
microphones.
give a little high. What's up? Hi. There you go.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go.
That's Mike. And he also is nodding his head in a farty approval.
So Indian fart and hooker mouth, funny, right?
Yeah, I think that is the funniest thing he's ever done.
That's like the OP class. Like if you're running a video game or something, like you spec out with Indian food and fart in the mouth,
Oh,
and you won.
yeah, pretty much.
You won.
Plus
OP.
12 Vindaloo.
Yeah.
No fair. He also ate Indian food. Thanks for tuning in to the Roast Mortem podcast. I'm Thomas Saltman. You can follow me on Twitter at Sauntcht, SAUNTCHT.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm Travis Lee. You can find me on Twitter at Travis Legion, TravisLeeEgion.
You need that second E to make
Need
it
that
make
second
sense.
E.
And I am Cody McCann at Cody McCann on Twitter, CODYMCCANN.
That's his name.
Yeah!
That's right.
That's his name, boy.
We've done good. All right. Don't fart in anyone's mouth. Thanks for tuning in.
And especially don't eat Indian food.
Love you.